How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Sports Card Weekly, presented by the Card Guys. I'm Steven Yantz, joined by Samson Daigle and Alec Mathis. Before we get started, I just want to explain what we'll be doing on here and where you will be able to find the podcast. The show will be available as a podcast on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple Podcasts. It will also be posted on Instagram and YouTube. We're going to give you guys some insight on the sports card market and what we are buying, selling, and holding. We're also going to look to bring some guests on the show to provide other perspectives on the market and hobby as a whole. So let's each do a little introduction. I'll start. I'm Steven Yantz. I've been collecting cards my whole life. Just got really back into it about a year ago. I spent all my Christmas money on cards, and it's been awesome. I'm trying to do this full time, so yeah.
Cool. My name's Samson Daigle. I used to collect cards for a while. Probably like my biggest year was 2008 with Topps football. And, during quarantine, like a lot of other people, just a hobby I wanted to get into just to make some extra side money and, be able to look at some cool cards and check them out every day. And I've been fairly successful with it. And talking to Steven and Alec, we've discussed a lot of, stuff that we do just to, the way that we prospect cards, or we'll look at trends. And since then, it's been fun.
Yep. All right, I'm Alec Mathis. I started collecting cards a while back as well. My knowledge stems more from baseball more than anything else, but with the help of both Samson and Yantz, I've expanded my ventures to somewhere else. But like Yantz said, a lot more money coming in. I've been making more money than I have with cards than I have with a real job. Just a lot of my time and a lot of value goes into this hobby, and it's really starting to pay off. So where we're at right now is a really good place.
Amen. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to start talking about Talen Horton-Tucker. After LeBron tweeted, telling you right now, this kid is flat out special. Mark my words.
The GOAT.
His prices exploded. Not the GOAT, but that's another discussion.
Oh, my God.
He scored 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists in 37 minutes in his first game. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists in 41 minutes. 18 points, 5 rebounds in 24 minutes. And his one-of-one Prism draft picks auto sold for $10,000 raw.
God.
So what do you guys see as is Talen Horton-Tucker a buy, sell, or hold?
Well, I think at this point it's probably a sell. I mean, I don't know. Some people are trusting LeBron and his tweet, and I'm sure that he means it. I'm sure, but you just never know with the league and with basketball being such like a reactive sport. I think for now, I mean, I wouldn't really buy any right now, right off the hype. Maybe wait till mid-season. Maybe he doesn't get a lot of time in or something like that. Maybe if you wanted to put, a few bucks into him, then would be good. But I'd say for now, I'd probably sell.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, his prices are just so inflated he's probably not even going to get the minutes. That's the thing. Like, get an opportunity. Right. If he was getting an opportunity, I'd say maybe because LeBron sees something in him. But
right,
it's only 4 games into the season too. Like, it's not even season. They have 81 games or however they have to play this season. I would definitely agree with Samson with the sell. Kuzma just signed that $40 million contract as well, so time would be a little limited for a second-year player. He does play really well. But I would definitely I wouldn't go on the hunt to buy any of his stuff right now. I would definitely sell. Then if he heats up again, possibly, maybe start to pick up some of his stuff, maybe some Mosaic, maybe some second-year stuff. I don't think now is the time to buy.
Yeah, the thing is he wasn't even in Prism last year.
Yeah.
His only Prism cards are draft pick Prism. That's why they were going crazy.
Yep, that's why his stuff's going in super inflated because he played well those past 4 games, which is crazy because it's not even real season yet.
Yeah, he's never gonna get 37 minutes let alone
Absolutely not.
24 minutes.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Kyle Guy too. With Kyle
True.
Guy having a good preseason, people were kind of high off him for a little bit. But again, it's like one of those things. Like, I guess in his case, he'll probably have more minutes. But even in his case, like, you're basing these prices off of what could be. You know, like we talk about it all the time. Like, basketball is so reactive that they could literally drop 50 in a game and be a no name, and their cards could just literally triple in one night, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, basketball is definitely different than any other sport. Football, which is weird because you'd think football would be more reactive because there's less games, but
Right.
basketball is just so, like,
It's hard to shine though with 10 other people on the field, you know, on offense and defense. Like, it's just hard to be like that one guy who stands out.
Yeah. I think it's a more engaging sport overall, though, basketball. It's more exciting. It's more engaging for most people, and a lot of people prefer watching basketball.
Yeah, it's a lot more international. I mean, the NFL is trying, but it's not even close to being what the NBA is now. Like,
same with baseball too. It's pretty international, but it's not as engaging as basketball, and I think that's why, like, we see more of reaction, like a reactive buys and reactive whatever from this sport, is because basketball is very well with their marketing, and they have this full circle of people who want to engage in the game. And now with cards exploding, I think it's just going to go insane this season.
NBA, like, it starts at the top with Adam Silver because, I mean, the bubble, like, that was such a well thought out thing. Like, having Black Lives Matter on the court, like, encouraging players to kneel for the national anthem, like, they're embracing they're listening to the world. Like, they're not just doing their own thing and trying to silence, like, football, NFL at first, like, like, all the owners blackballed Kaepernick, and the NBA is the opposite. Yeah. And you can see it with their ratings. I mean, people still love the NBA, and it's as big as ever.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. So let's move on to your guys' number one player you've been buying this offseason, basketball-wise.
Ooh, offseason.
I mean, it's not like probably the most buys I have, but I just got in a bunch of Harry Giles cards, his rated rookies, like we were talking about before. Like, again, it's like one of those guys, like, I'm not really sure about his long term, but being a big man and knowing that what you have Zach Collins, Nurkic, and Cantor, I mean, all those big guys, like, they play well, but big guys get hurt, you know? So there may be an opportunity down the road or even in the playoffs maybe where they want to rest Nurkic, depending on, you know, how high their seed is. They may want to rest some of their bigger guys just to give them a little bit of a break. And I thought maybe he would have a good chance. I mean, coming out of when he was drafted, he was pretty big. Like, he was favored to go number one until his injuries. So he just has a lot of potential. He can stretch the floor a little bit. His jumper needs some work. He can't stretch the floor like Collins can, but he's a great finisher at the rim. And I know a lot of people with basketball just love dunking and three-pointers. So finding a guy who can score consistently or, you know, have a lot of highlight jams, I thought would be, you know, a good investment considering I can buy his rated rookie cards for under $2 each.
Oh, that's so cheap.
Yeah, you could buy the rated rookie, the optic ones for like $1.30. You could buy you can buy an autographed fast break rated rookie of his for like $30 or under. So, you know, it's like, it's not much to put into someone if you wanted to get, you know, maybe 10, 15 of his rated rookies or something like that. I mean, you're literally dropping 10 or 15 bucks, you know?
Not the thing is, it's basketball. So if he drops 20 points, those dollar cards will be like $5, $10.
Exactly. I don't need him to have a long, successful career. I just need him to have like one or two good games. Yeah.
Just sell it off the hype. Like,
exactly.
That's what basketball is.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it's been Trae Young.
Yeah.
Well,
did you feel that he was a little – do you think – I was going to ask you what you were –
Oh, yeah. For me, it's been Trae Young. I just see an opportunity there with – like, Luka's rated rookies are $150 and Trae Young's are $20 to $30.
Now, do you think that – so do you think either Luka is priced appropriately, or do you think that more Trey is priced appropriately?
I think Luka's priced appropriately just because we've seen what he could do. He got into the playoffs. He hit a game winner. He's 21 years old.
Young guy, yeah, limitless potential. Like,
Yeah, he's a point guard. He can dunk. He can shoot. He can do it all. It's not flashy, but
he's totally a combo guard, bro. He can do anything he wants. He can play anywhere on the court, both sides of the court. He can play, and he's so efficient with it too. He's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, but Luka and Trae Young were traded for each other, so they're always going to get compared on draft night. But for me, I just don't see why like Trae's stuff is so cheap, like a fifth of the price of Luka. Like,
do you ever think, like, what do you think beyond the hype? What drives the Cards up the most? Like, do you think scoring, besides scoring, like, do you think people care about rebounding and stuff like that, or do you think they just like, you know what I mean? Like, Luka can hit double doubles. I know Trae can too, but it's just like, you know, I just wonder.
I honestly think it's the concept of winning, because the Mavericks have a better roster and a better record than Atlanta. Even though Atlanta does have that talent, they can't make a better record out of them. So they can't have a winning record. They haven't had a winning record in years. And it's just that side that it's more games that they get to play. Luka gets to shine more. I mean, in the playoff stance, you saw what he did in the bubble. He's hitting game winners, and people love to see that. And when people see that, they make that comparison. Trae Young can't make it that far. He can't make his team go that far. Oh, he doesn't have that behind him. But Luka has that competitiveness to where he can drive a team towards that playoffs and potentially a championship. But it's too early to tell. They're only in their second year, going into their third. But we could see what happens.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, the Hawks are getting John Collins back.
Yeah,
they're getting Capella. So I don't know how they might be good. They might be decent.
And Cam Reddish too. If he can turn things around, he's really good. Yeah, he should have been taken earlier in the draft, in my opinion, a couple years back. But really solid. I just think he needs to play with more aggressiveness and more like confidence. But it's going to happen in second-year players. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about him. So
yeah. All right. Who's the player to hold in your guys' opinion right now?
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
Ooh. Luka.
Luka for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say Giannis.
Giannis as well. Yeah. Big time.
I'd probably say too, like, again, it's one of those guys I don't know about his long term, but he's a fan favorite, Tyler Hero. Like, even if it's like, even if he doesn't have a great season, I'm sure he'll be solid. But like he was last year in the playoffs, I mean, his cards like skyrocketed in the playoffs after he had a few games where, I mean, he kind of took over. He definitely like took a little bit of charge of those games. So I get why like the hype was so big, but I would, for someone like him, like just seeing his prices, how they went up, his rookie cards last year during playoffs, I definitely see the Heat being in the playoffs again. I'd hold on to him too.
And he has that hype around him. I mean, Jack Harlow wrote a song about him.
Yeah, literally. He's a fan favorite. I mean, there's people like I've heard these Miami fans talk about how they wouldn't even want to take Harden for Hero with with some kind of trade. Like they don't even want a top 10 player because they'd rather have Hero. He's like a fan favorite,
That's so cool.
Got that it factor.
It's cool.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, he does. No, he does.
Player to sell right now. I'd say Talen Horton-Tucker.
Oh yeah,
that's my number one right now.
That'd probably be so Kyle Guy. Kyle Guy.
Right before season. Yep.
Yeah. I'd probably say that's about. I'd say for football, I'd probably sell Baker Mayfield.
True.
if we want to talk about football for a little bit.
Yeah. Browns are 9-3 now. 9-4.
Solid record.
Yeah,
I mean, they've been in building for a while. Like, I mean, since like literally like 2015 or 16, like they've had like pieces of teams that could be potentially good, And finally, I feel like this year, they've gotten it together a little bit. But Baker definitely, like, his cards have been on the rise lately, and I'd probably say just sell him if you have any. I don't know, uncertainty around his career and long term. I wouldn't say he's like really any worse, compared to like some of these other quarterbacks, but he has like moments of brightness where people are pretty hopeful for his future,
Yeah, he's definitely like a system dependent quarterback. Like when he drops back and he just has to throw 40 times a game, he's not going to get it done. But they have Chubb and Hunt this year who both could be 1,000-yard rushers, which is crazy.
Definitely.
And Odell's gone too, which is crazy.
Yeah, without Odell, which I feel like
yeah.
takes kind of a little stress off of Baker too.
I think they're better without Odell.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Just feeding Landry and Peoples-Jones has stepped up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Do we want to talk about like our season predictions?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get into that.
All right, you start it.
Rookie of the year, I'm going to go with James Wiseman on the Warriors. I really like him. I really like his upside. He only played 2 games in college, but he's a raw talent, and the Warriors have been looking for that guy, that big man, for years. So I really think Wiseman he'll probably start when he gets minutes, and he'll make an immediate impact.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you, Samson?
Do you think his size is any issue? You think he's like a good size right now going into the NBA?
Oh, yeah. Strength-wise or?
Yeah, like strength-wise.
I mean, it could be an issue, but we see players like Ingram, KD with no muscle on them, and they're putting up points. And he's pretty much the same frame as KD, just a couple inches taller and maybe a little thicker.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be an issue. I think he needs to ease his way in. Like, he won't start game 1, but he'll get it rolling once he gets his minutes.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to go with LaMelo. I feel like he's one of those players, like, even if he didn't necessarily have the consensus best season, like, stat-wise, he's, like, a huge hype player. Like, these Rookie of the Years, I mean, sometimes you get them and people kind of question their decisions. Like, I wouldn't say with last year being Ja, like, I don't think that's, like, that makes sense, But, like, there was one guy who, like, didn't vote for him. Like, there's a guy who thought Zion should be Rookie of the Year. And it's like, I don't think so based off of the 22 games or whatever he played. But
yeah, wasn't it like 49 out of 50 or something?
Yeah, literally one person didn't vote for him to be Rookie of the Year. Like, silly. But I'll go with LaMelo. With the preseason, like we're talking about, it doesn't mean much, but when it's rookies like this is all you have to kind of base what their future is going to be on. And he looks good. Like, I feel like he has good court vision. I mean, definitely everyone's known that. He's great at passing. I mean, ESPN will literally spam his passes over and over on the highlights, regardless of how they do in the game. So I'll just go with LaMelo. I think he'll be a good team player.
Alec, what about you?
I was thinking about Melo as well, but I really, really like Cole Anthony, how he pairs up in Orlando with Markelle Fultz. We saw only a little bit out of him in preseason, but just his explosiveness is like off the ball and both sides of the court. I really think he could help Orlando go make that push potentially to playoff form. But that landing that role in Orlando was huge. Playing alongside a small man such as Markelle, he can make plays, combo guards. They can really play well together, and he can learn a lot from kind of like a combo guard like him. He plays kind of similar to Markelle, and absolute steal in the draft. And I think he could prove to be one of the best players in the draft overall.
Yeah, he looked good the other night.
Absolutely, Cole Anthony,
18 points or something.
15th in the draft, absolute steal. I thought he was going to go top 10, but I'm glad he landed up in Orlando. I think he's really going to shine in Orlando.
All right, how about MVP?
Oof.
That one's tough.
That one's really hard.
I feel like this is even tougher this year than it was to guess it last year.
I think it's Giannis. Like, I don't think there's any competition.
It seems like that's Luka. The easy pick, Like, yeah. It's reasonable, and I don't he deserves it. I mean, if he plays up to what he did, like, I get it, but I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll see a surprise out of someone else this year, but I guess if I was to put in,
Ooh.
no,
No way.
But no way. I think
I
though.
think there's a shot.
You think,
Don't count
but I
him
mean,
out.
does the MVP? I usually don't see MVPs with like not great records. Like
I
I know it's a
totally
regular
Turn him
season
around.
award.
He could turn the
Like
Hawks around.
I mean, he could.
I totally
he could.
agree with Samson.
He
But
averaged
it's
29 points as a 22-year-old or 21-year-old.
Yeah. No, I get it. Listen, he's a beast. Like he can score. He's a shooter. Like he's the real
Yeah.
deal. But I guess if I was to safe guess, I'd go with Giannis too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a
I'm
safe
gonna
guess.
I'm gonna go heavy on your guy, Yance, Jason Tatum.
Ooh.
I think
bold
he's really got something to prove in Boston. I mean, if he hasn't already, he's a year older than you and I, if not a year the
So
same
weird.
year,
Yeah, he's 23.
Absolute
which is
beast.
crazy. And he's balling out like I've never seen anyone do before. Besides, maybe the best comparison I can make to him early in this career is Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. That's
Like
a big comparison.
he plays the same as him, and he's just going to be a start in Boston. I think he's going to be there long term. So I'm really going to go with Jason Tatum this year.
Cool.
Yeah, he definitely has something to prove. I mean, they were definitely the better team in the Eastern Conference Finals, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't put it together.
Nah.
Maybe it was the scene they were in. They're so used to big crowd, big energy, and they couldn't play off that bubble energy. Maybe not.
True.
I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
All right, that's a perfect segue. Eastern Conference champion.
I told us C's. I think the C's.
Me too.
I think they're gonna do it this year. Yeah, they're too good not to. They have every piece of the puzzle.
All right. Well, since you guys are going there, I'm gonna say the Nets.
That'd be my second pick for sure.
Like I was back and forth between Nets and Bucks, but I'll just say Nets. Let's go with Nets.
They're gonna be raw. I mean, they pummeled the Celtics. It wasn't even close. KD and Kyrie look like vintage KD and Kyrie. That could be scary. I mean, Celtics Nets Eastern Conference Finals will probably happen unless the Bucks can take that next step, but they always kind of simmer out in the playoffs.
Well, didn't they lose a little bit of depth this year? Or am I mistaken? In the offseason?
I think they lost. Do they still have Brogdon?
Malcolm Brogdon, I think so.
Look into that.
I don't know.
But I think they lost a little bit of depth, so that's why like I would have had them there next to Celtics too, but like I don't know.
All right, Western Conference champion. I'm gonna go Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah.
Bro, it's easy. The Lakers.
Yeah, we're all in agreement on this.
Yeah.
I'm glad because you guys might be crazy if you didn't think that, but you never know. But I just think they're
Clippers.
Dude, Kane and LA,
Paul George
bro.
is the GOAT.
Yeah, dude.
Go.
Pandemic piss. Let's go.
All right, best rookie to invest in right now.
See, I feel like because it's the beginning of the season, I don't really think I would invest really in too many just because like so right now it's like all the rookies, even before they've played or really done much in preseason, they're just being sold off the hype before the draft still.
Right.
You know? So it's like it still hasn't had time to simmer from that. And then it hasn't had time to like kind of have this kind of lull that they have after the season where cards kind of go down. They haven't even had that chance yet because, I mean, the draft wasn't long ago. They're literally about to play. Isn't tomorrow the first game?
Yeah, 22nd. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't invest really in any rookies. I'd say if you were really into cards and you really did your prospecting and, you know, similar to like how I was talking about Harry Giles, like he's not a rookie, but just someone like, you know, you believe in, he's not costing too much, then maybe I'd say, you know, put some money into it. But I don't have really anyone in particular.
I totally agree with you. We weren't able to see a lot from these draftees. Like most of our like hype comes from, or most of their hype comes from March Madness in March, April, and we get to see potential there. But since COVID hit, we weren't able to see a lot of that, and we were just relying heavily on the hype, ESPN or whatever. So we aren't able to tell who to invest in and who to spend our money on. And here you go, because these 4 games can't really do that in the preseason. Oh, LaMelo averaged 4 assists and 11 points this 4 games. Oh, I'm gonna invest on it. And no, you can't do that in these 4 game spans. Like, okay, maybe during this March Madness, okay, this is the guy I want to do, but like, I agree with you totally 100%. I wouldn't invest in any rookies right now until I see their true potential.
I definitely agree with you guys, especially because of where the hobby's at right now. Like, this time last year, or January, February last year, like, you could buy Job Prisms for under $20.
Right.
Like, when Prism comes out, I can't even imagine how much LaMelo Prisms are probably going to be upwards of $100. Like,
Easily.
which is insane.
Like right out of the packs, yeah.
Yeah, like we're not even going to be able to get our hands on Prism in the first place, which is going to drive that demand for the cards as well. Like, they're literally just going to be unobtainable unless you want to drop $100 on a raw card.
Why not just pick up like Giannis Illusions for like $2, or like Trae Young Astro Revolutions for $3 instead, or like Jason Tatum My House or whatever, instead of going for these draft picks so early on. Okay, they prove to be good. They are good. Okay, and then we can go with these rookies. But now, like, why aren't we focusing on these guys who already made an impact in the league rather than these guys who have played 4 games in preseason?
True.
Right? I don't know. That's my perspective on the rookies. I agree with Samson 100%.
All right, let's talk about holding on to the 2020 product if you can get your hands on it, as Samson has.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just talk like I was pretty interested in just picking up some boxes to do like breaks in the future, just try to get a good deal on them, maybe resell in the future. Ended up getting like around 30 boxes of Absolute, around 15 of Donruss, for like only a few bucks above retail, and that was including the shipping. So I ended up actually getting a pretty good deal. I think that it's just a good product for football-wise to hold. I mean, any of the 2020 products, I probably wouldn't say Absolute would be like your top pick. I'd probably say if you really want to get your bang for your buck, if you can get your hands on it retail, would be Prism. That's just the king of really any kind of rookie cards. It's just the card that people go to for, like the card to look at. I'd say just hold it. If you can find any, I mean, like we've all talked about what's going on here in Vegas with the targets.
Oh,
we think there's some shady stuff going on with the distribution, but if you are in an area where you're in maybe like a smaller town, or even if you're traveling, I'd say just, check the sports collectible aisle and see if there's any boxes. I mean, I'd probably say it's a pretty rare chance that you buy the product and you can't at least make your money back, including whatever you did and then some. Like, really with product being so scarce, like, you can get pretty much any product, I'd say, outside of maybe the rookies and stars for football. That's not really a huge desirable one, but I mean, I'd hold on to it. We have, 4 good QBs. I mean, let's say 3 good QBs in the 2020 draft for football with, Herbert, Burrow, and Tua. And then now with Hurts stepping up. Yeah, I mean, Hurts is stepping up. Obviously, Burrow's injured now, but I think that, assuming he comes back and, he's even back to 90, 95%, like, I think he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be a solid quarterback, at least one that's worth collecting, someone that you could hold right now if you already had him and then sell, next year when he's back. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about that, Janssen and Alec?
I agree. I mean, like, it could shift in that direction, like how basketball went. Like, I remember seeing NBA hoops on like Target shelves and just like no one was buying it. It was there for months. But like you said, if it's a really strong rookie class, like last year with Zion and Ja, like those boxes were so cheap, like the Absolute kind of, and it's also
they're $9.
That they could go up with everything else, with everything being so scarce.
I'll say like
Agreed.
one tip if you ever get your hands on product yourself in the shelf is like hold half of it maybe, rip one or two. But honestly, no one's really going to get but no one's really going to get, like, just be aware you're likely not going to get the value of what you paid out of these boxes. Like, it is super hit or miss. Like, you could buy $1,000 worth of product and get $300 back, or you could buy one box and pull a $10,000 card. Like, you never know. But I just want to say, like, don't expect to make your money back or expect to even make money.
It's the exact same as like Madden Market or like MLB The Show has their community market. You get so lucky with pulling these cards that once in 1,000 you get these diamond cards, these 99 overall cards. It's
one time out of 1,000 times you bought is finally worth it. Yeah,
it's the same as these sports packs. Like, it's so it's so hit or miss, but when you do hit, you get your money back. But I don't think it's worth the risk at all. You had a lot of stuff, Samson, which you had more than I could imagine in front of my face. But in my opinion, I would definitely rather buy single than grade than just hold on to boxes and hopefully getting these hopefully hitting gold or like finding these rare cards rather than just going on eBay and buying them yourself. Like, it doesn't matter in single or like lots, whatever. But yeah, I would prefer to stay away from them, to be honest.
All right, so let's discuss last thing on the agenda. Let's discuss when the best time to buy is. For
what sport?
Let's start with basketball. So right now, I think that trend is gone. That ship has sailed for buying basketball, unless, like you said, like Harry Giles, like there's just these penny stock kind of guys that are going to get opportunities. But other than that, like other than a player like even like Kelly Oubre, I think he's going to get his opportunity in Golden State.
He's kind of old.
He's not. He's like 24, 25. But I still think he'll get opportunities. Like anyone like that who's still affordable, I think would still be a good buy. But like a Zion, I mean, maybe even Zion is a good buy. Maybe even Ja, but I still think off-season is the best time to buy for NBA, which is past.
Baseball right now would be the perfect time to buy.
Yeah, baseball for sure. Like
baseball is starting to go, and I'm locked and loaded for baseball season.
I mean,
I'm ready to go.
Can you talk a little bit about like how we were talking about the Tatis, or how do you say his name, right? What is it?
Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, Tatis. Titties. So, you know what I mean? Like how we were talking about the Topps Chrome during the off season, you can get them for, I think it was like $40, right? Like the Topps Chrome.
Mm-hmm.
The series ones.
Yeah. And then during in season, let's say he has a good game, like what could they potentially sell for usually?
I mean, even like baseball is weird because, I mean, it's not weird. It's kind of like every other sport, but the cards just like go up no matter what if you buy in the off season. So you can buy like Acuna. That's what I was doing last year, just buying Acuna, Tatis with the thought that they would go up in the off season. Like I really believed in Tatis, but I didn't think. I mean, I knew he had that potential, but I didn't know for sure he would be like an MVP candidate. So I mean, that just kind of like that exploded. But like the Acuna stuff, I was definitely buying, like with the notion that it would go up because it's almost 100% that it will. Like if you buy a player like Acuna, like Trout, like George Springer, like these established guys,
it doesn't matter what Trout you buy too. You can buy any Trout.
You can buy
it's just going to shoot up.
2016 Trout. Like it will go up during spring training probably, like March, April, beginning of April.
Dude has to hit 270, bro, and his stuff just skyrockets. Like, that's all he has. It's just Mike Trout. That's how he is. Like LeBron and Ja are to basketball. That's how Mike Trout is to baseball. Just a valuable asset. And it's crazy with baseball because we have all these new guys like Luis Robert, Tatis. Like, these are the guys that just absolutely stacked up on right now.
Kyle Lewis, Bo Bichette.
Yep.
Eloy.
Kyle Lewis. Samson, you did really good with the Kyle Lewis's. He's going to be a
Yeah.
stud.
Yeah,
I
he's a-
hope so. It's even better that he's a Mariner too. It's fun, like especially collecting cards you want to make profit off of, but like collecting a player you actually like or like on a
Right.
team you actually are a fan of. It's cool. It's even more fun. One thing though, I do want to talk about, like one last thing is like let's just quickly talk about what kind of cards you'd want to buy. So like I kind of talked about it with football, like Prism would be like the rookie card that you'd usually want.
Ooh.
Probably the same thing for basketball. But I just wanted to mention, buy licensed products. Like if you're going to buy baseball, buy it from Topps. You know what I mean? Like buy Topps. Like you don't want Mosaic baseball where they don't even have the team logos. You know what I mean? Like
baseball, dude. That's my
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I'm sure.
Digital bump baseball.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about like with baseball, like what would be like your go-to cards?
Ooh, Topps for me, definitely. Or usually for first-year players, like rookie cards, we either go for the RC logo for the Topps or Bowman. We go first-year Bowman Chromes, which is the blue, rather than – it depends. Like Wander Franco's, I'll buy just a Bowman leaf for like Wander Franco. But for baseball, we go a lot for Chrome, Topps Chrome, Bowman Chrome. We like to stay in those two ballparks. Prism, not really, unless it's Mike Trout, which Jans found a second-year Mike Trout for dirt cheap, and it's going to grade really well. But I would definitely stay in the ballpark of Topps Chrome, and Bowman Chrome for sure.
Yeah, the thing about baseball is it depends on the player. Like, it's weird because each player will have a different flagship rookie card. Like, Tatis is Topps Chrome. Acuna is Topps Update. Or Topps Series 1, actually, the bat down. But that card's $3,000 raw, so good luck buying it.
Right.
But it depends player to player. Like, Rafael Devers is like Series 1. We're still kind of trying to see what Luis Roberts is. It's probably,
I think his is his Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Bowman
people really
Chrome.
like his Bowman Chrome.
Yeah, his first Bowman Chrome. Like, those are always big cards, no matter the player. Like, their first Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends.
You've been spot on with those two, Jans.
Oh, yeah.
With up-and-coming prospects.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just bought that Robert. Like, I wasn't huge on him, but I paid $20 for a Bowman paper and a Bowman Chrome lot. And then I sold the paper for $20 and then graded the Robert, and I got a 10, and it was $300. So I'll take that.
Mine's still at PSA, unfortunately. I'm waiting still.
The order
economy,
back, I have
economy my ass.
Rookie auto.
Good Lord.
Oh, I need that card, dude.
I do too.
I think Jalen is going to go off this season because everyone's going to be guarding Jason Tatum. Everyone's going to be teeing off on him. So I think he'll have his opportunities.
What are the most cards you guys have at PSA? More baseball based or basketball or a mix?
Mine's pretty mixed. I'd say maybe more baseball now, just because of with the grading times. I anticipated getting them back like around before season.
Right.
So I think I probably have more baseball. I do have some football though. Like I have a few like a Herbert, DeAndre Swift, like some of the rookies that it's fine. Like I don't need to sell them right now, but maybe next year they have a good year, they have a good game, and I can sell them. But I'd probably say mostly baseball.
That's cool. Same. I would say the same. Baseball, more baseball. I sent them back in May, so I was expecting them by March. So that's I really went heavy on baseball for the PSA order. I have a lot of basketball too that I just sent, hoping to get it back again by this time, but that's never going to happen with PSA. But
how many cards would you say you have sent out right now?
Ooh, probably
like in a range,
like 80, 90.
Okay.
So I have a lot of cash coming back if they sell well, if they get 9s or 10s, which I do look at my cards really carefully. I don't just send any cards in, which we could do another segment on that. We can go on days for that. But
dude, yeah.
Yeah, I would say about 80, 90 cards right now I'm sitting on at PSA. I'm sure Jans and you guys have a crap ton more, but
Yeah, I think I calculated it out, and I have like 220 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's out to get graded because that's counting SGC. But I'd say I have an equal mix of baseball and basketball, and then probably half of that amount football, or a quarter of that even football.
Yeah.
Because that last order that me and Samson sent, the first order that we sent, was pretty much all football for me.
Yeah.
So that was like 60. No, it was like 40 football cards, I think, for me. I don't know the exact number, but
Yeah, sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think it's time to wrap up, boys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on. It's been fun. Sports Card Weekly. Tune in every week. We'll have a different episode for you guys, different insights on the hobby. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Any last words?
No, nothing much.
No,
I'm chilling.
we have a lot more to talk about.
A lot more to
Jeez.
talk about.
Whatever.